say it again, and I'm probably going to say it numerous other times in other videos. I am for you guys. You guys are my boss. I'm not for these industry TV people who really fall in line within the game to gain money. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe, do click the bell. I'm on Patreon, patreon.com/JOA. If you think I'm worth your support, worth your time, I'd appreciate it if you donate $5 a month minimum for Patreon. There's going to be perks that comes along with that very soon. I'll also ask icebreaker questions. And so I did ask this on my community page in terms, was I wrong with this whole back and forth with Nischelle Turner, who is now the first Black host that's going to be on Entertainment Tonight, which comes off very coincidental since, you know, CBS is really just one of them networks, along with ABC, that are really tied with discrimination against Black people, people of color, and so on and so forth. So I want to get into that. So I went back and forth with this woman, Nischelle Turner, on Twitter yesterday, you know, simply just asking her a question. I'm going to get into that. This woman has about 22,000 followers on Twitter, which may not be a lot, but she do have a lot of supposedly quote unquote prominent people that do follow her. And I say quote unquote because, like I said, I'm for you guys. I'm not for the industry. Some of these people are Simone Sanders, Andrew Yang, Tiffany Cross from the Cross Connection, The Talk, Sunny Halston, Dr. Jason Johnson, Nina Parker, Cheryl Underwood, Holly, Robinson Peete, Soledad O'Brien, Rosie O'Donnell, Lonnie Love, she's one of them that's for the industry, Jeannie Mai, Tamron Hall, Dr. Mark Lamontaille, who I actually love because he's pro-Palestine and literally got fired from CNN allegedly for saying free Palestine from sea to shining sea. Aaron Navarro, Don Lemon, Journalist Yashar Ali, who broke the story about CBS The Talk, and some other local people in my area in New Orleans who I also follow. Now, like I said, I was very just asking her a question. And so we had an exchange with a series of tweets. I personally did not expect us to go back and forth the way we did, like really honestly. So the first statement was, congrats on your new position, I guess, which is a question mark. Don't think CBS is doing damage control. Also at a question mark. I can see I was wrong when I said congrats on your new position, I guess. But either way, if I wrote congrats on your new position, then wrote don't think CBS is doing damage control, I personally think the conversation would have led the exact same way as it did yesterday. So she quote tweeted my tweet and simply said, if your congrats aren't genuine, you can keep them and know they aren't doing damage control. But why don't you try and diminish someone's accomplishments a little more? So I replied and I said, and I'm going to reply and I'm going to tell the other people that chimed in and I'm going to state my opinion on this whole situation. I says, I like to see a sister or brother win, but I personally think it is damage control. It starts from the top. And as a sister, you know that these networks are pro people of color, Black publicly, symbolically, however, behind the scenes, you know what it is. So it will just continue back and forth between other people and other situations. And to be honest with you guys, I really don't even want to go through these tweets, but I'm going to go through them for you guys. Yeah, I'm honestly not going to go back and forth with these tweets. There were a lot, but Bevy Smith even chimed in and said, don't tolerate the foolishness. And I was like, apparently, like, she don't realize that I bought her book and I tweeted her about it and that I was going to interview her about it. But at this time, like, I don't care about her book right here and it's going to go in the trash. You know, she didn't apologize or anything. She says that she is here for these television hosts and, you know, it diminishes her opportunity. And so when she said, don't tolerate these foolishness, I replied and I simply said something to the effect of that, well, maybe we should talk to your boss, Andy Cohen. We should get Kathy Griffin on the line and let her know what she thinks about your boss, Powderhead Andy Cohen. Y'all remember when she was on Wendy and Kathy Griffin just let it out and let it loose.
You know what I'm going to tell you? You know that horrible Andy Cohen's been coming after me? And
right.
he was, oh my God, he was the worst boss ever at Bravo. And you know, I've got like, yeah, I'm spilling the tea like I'm going to burn myself. I'm spilling so much tea. Oh, my live shows are just like a teapot burning. All right. So, you know, he just goes for me and stuff. And he like steals my jokes in his book and stuff like that. It's not cool.
So you lost Andy and you lost Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
And then that was the time that I got a phone call, or my management got a phone call from you to call you. Me to call you. I guess you wanted to walk through the process of, oh my gosh, how do you deal with having a big mouth and still do it every day?
I wanted to call you because I know that you've been on the radio and you've done so many hours of stuff and you've been through so much.
I don't know those people. I don't care about those people. I care about these people right here and these people watching. And I know that's very difficult to do.
No, but that's why I'm able, you're right, she's right. That's why I'm able to work again. Believe me, all these networks and studios, they're still not into it. But the board of directors, which is the audience, they said, okay, you can come back.
Yeah, I'm not bothered. And then I was scared to call you, like your phone is tapped, you know, I'm not involved.
They did. They told me my phone was tapped for the first 2 months.
Of course.
Yeah. And it almost becomes funny after a while. So I'd be like talking to my mom, going, Mom, put down.
He were to apologize to you.
He would not. He's not that guy.
If Andy were to apologize.
Oh my God, he's too busy. Allegedly.
Then they had this other nobody chime in. She apparently on her bio, it says she's a licensed therapist and she also was on a TV show on Oprah Winfrey Network. And she chimed in and said some BS and even said that I should get therapy, thinking that I have something wrong. First and foremost, if you're watching this, I want to let you know personally, if you are seeking a therapist, there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, if you're even seeking a therapist, there isn't really nothing wrong for a lot of people. They just need some things to address. Is no different than seeing a mentor or a life coach. So the audacity for this black woman to even come for me and say, I need to see some therapist. And I replied and I told her, I wish we can go back to the old school days where lawyers, doctors, therapists, you name it, people that we are supposed to entrust in the community would stop trying to land TV deals. And she responded saying that, oh, you haven't read my resume, baby. I don't need to read your resume. I'm going off what your bio says on Twitter. And in fact, I did a little bit even more research and your little therapy facility has horrible 3.8 out of 5 is unacceptable, especially if you are going to see a therapist, somebody that deals with your mental capabilities. Your mentality is the most, if not one of the most important things as a human being. So she really needs to focus on getting better reviews via Google than coming from me. And as a licensed therapist who's on television, factually, not in my opinion, you lost your credibility because I would never hire a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, anybody who I need to help me spiritually, mentally, and physically on television. Because in my opinion, I'm a traditionalist, and I personally feel that people like her and people like Dr. Oz, who's just on Jeopardy, they lose their credibility as quote unquote doctors. They do. You know, just stop the notion of trying to be on TV and trying to be a doctor or a lawyer. Like, to me, that's just lose your credibility. I mean, Yashar Ali, who broke the story on CBS, even said that, you know, Dr. Oz just being on Jeopardy was like disgusting, was horrible. And I personally agree on that. So really, if you want to see the series of tweets, I'm not going to read it for you guys. You can go on Jordan Show. It's virtually there. Me personally, I'm not for the industry. I tell you this all the time. There's no such thing as celebrity friends. There's no such thing as YouTube friends. People only want to align with you when they see that you are on your growth spurt in numbers, whether it's YouTube television, when they see that you are high in career, when you reach out when you're a smaller YouTuber, or when you reach out when you're very small in the TV, radio industry, then they don't know you. But when you get big, that's when they want to come back and kiss your ass and say, hey, I've been here since day one, or try to reach out or comment on comments on your page. I mean, me personally, if I reached out before and I commented on your YouTube page or tweeted you or whatever, but now you want to come back since you see some type of growth coming in, I personally am not going to respond, because as a Scorpio myself, like, I value friendship. Like, I value it. A lot of these people in regular life, not just TV life, they use friendship very loosely. And I'm a traditionalist. I value friendship. When I say you're my friend, I'm here during your darkest moments and I'm here during your brightest moments. And so, like I said, I'm a full-on Scorpio, and I'm very loyal and trustworthy. And if I don't see that within you from the gate, then it's just like no involvement needs to be there whatsoever. So Nischelle Turner actually tweeted saying she got hired to be the first, she's basically the first Black woman to anchor Entertainment Tonight. Okay, and I used to be a fan of Entertainment Tonight. I used to watch AJ Hammer on Showbiz Tonight on HLN, and I used to be really, really into that show. He's no longer on television, I don't think. I guess he just got tired of the industry, which I don't blame him, because of the fakery and the buffoonery. But this woman basically said, if your aspiration is to be a TV host, then this is not the way to go about it. And I responded by saying, I am not a polished TV host. Number one, I may look young because of my Jerusalem genes. And you guys, I constantly get comments from you all about my skin. But I've been long enough in this industry to know what the rules of the games are in television. And I'm not going to be the one that follows the rules of the game. Like I said, and I'm going to continue to say this, you could either be a Monique and have integrity and principles and truth first, or you could fall in line with the game and be Steve Harvey and really just don't give a hell and just take money and sell your soul. I choose to be myself. I choose to lean more to the route of the Monique, and I want to be treated by the talent, by my judgment of character, by my hard work ethic, by my resume, by my numbers, versus then just kissing ass, kissing up to the system just for the paycheck. That's not how I roll. That's never how I rolled before. So they had other people that liked her tweets and so on and so forth, that had check marks and stuff, because you got to remember, this woman is on a prominent network, okay? A prominent network that has a lot to deal with discrimination issues. This woman was hired last Thursday, literally after the whole situation that happened at the talk. And before the situation happened at the talk, they did have Tamar Braxton on, co-host with Kevin Frazier. And yes, Kevin Frazier is going to be co-hosting with Nischelle Turner. And a lot of Black women, like AKA Miss Amanda Seales, came for Kevin Frazier, Miss Nischelle Turner's co-host. He's also for the industry, not for the people. And so Amanda Seales came for his ass because he wanted Sharon Underwood, Amanda Seales, and a whole bunch of other people in the Black community to have a kumbaya moment and sit down with this racist woman, Sharon Osbourne, to explain to her how and what racism is and how she's not seeing what she is supposed to be seeing. Why does Amanda Seales and why does Cheryl Underwood need to educate a woman that is almost 70 years old and literally a part of Great Britain, who is the epitome of the reason why shit goes on in Palestine and Israel, because they were the start of that in history. They are the start of discrimination and being a racism between people, period. So she is from that. She is the root of that. So to explain that to her is like trying to punch a wall with your fist.
So it was just brought to my attention that Kevin Frazier interviewed this cretin, Sharon Osbourne, and gave her a softball interview, just not asking her any real hard questions about the allegations that are taking place, and decided in his caption when he posted on Instagram to tag myself, Holly Robinson Peete, and Cheryl Underwood in an effort to have a kumbaya teaching moment for this trash ass woman who doesn't even feel like she needs to abide by the basic laws of civility, let alone in a professional setting. And I'm wondering why do so many brothers, particularly in this entertainment business, feel the need to lay their coat down across troubled waters to help these white folks who don't give a fuck about us? First of all, it is not the responsibility of black folks to educate white folks on how they cannot be trash ass folks. Okay? They fucking made up racism. Why the fuck we gotta teach you how to not be racist? To expect us to do that and to, as a black person, try and rally up folks into that space is one, just foolish and also not respectful of our time and of our energy.
I don't got the time. I'm on my trampoline.
And on another level, completely devoid of any consideration for the fact that Cheryl and Holly have been at the brunt of this woman's racist bullshit. So basically you're asking victims to come and have a nice little sit down with their attacker so that this bitch can feel better? No, we are not on the rehabilitate white people train. That is not what our energy is for. There is no stimulus check for our time.
Time is slipping away from me.
There are real issues going on out here, okay? There is a whole political system and infrastructure based on racism, and y'all got us fucked up if you think that it is of our priority to put any energy, I can't even talk, I'm so irritated, to put any energy into helping save the public character of this British woman. She ain't even from here, okay? You didn't even go here. So Kevin Frazier, I hope you will do me a favor and check yourself in the mirror. Go call Don Lemon, who learned, you know what? I'm better with my people, and came over and rocked with us and continues to do so in a real way.
The president's legacy will be not the most masculine president, but the biggest loser we have ever had as president.
I want you to consider how backwards it is that you and your producers felt it important to provide a platform for this disingenuous, lying-ass, treacherous broad, instead of creating a safe space for those who have had to feel the effects of her attacks, of her lunacy, of her loose ass lips. That is what your energy should be given to, not protecting her. Remove the cape and don't tag me the next time you put it on. Racist white people bother me, they frustrate me, they disgust me, but let me tell y'all, black folks who be about just, Massa, what can I do to make you feel good, Massa? If you sick, I sick. That does something else to me. It disappoints me from my soul to my ancestry. It makes my body tighten up. It brings a rumble in my spirit. And I want to return to my peace. Again, if you're wondering about my vehemence and why I am just so on this story, it's because I have had to work in this business with these types of people all my life, and they just go unchecked, and we continuously, as black folks and people of color, got to stomach it and navigate around it and meditate before we come into work just to deal with it, and it's just unacceptable. And as we are continuing with the trend of an eruptioning of awakening that has been happening since summer 2020, we need to understand that this is when accountability starts happening. This is when the application of that awakening starts happening. This is when them black squares that everybody wanted to put on Instagram, this is when the shadow of those squares must come down and smoke out the continual burning flame of racism that moves through the halls of this industry. And until the people in power use their power to disempower that type of behavior, it will continue to be pervasive. And we cannot stand for it. I really need my own show. Man, I really need my own show.
Babe, I've been doing this a long time. I didn't just come on YouTube to be on YouTube. You guys that watch me, some of y'all know my story. You guys know I was taking the traditional route. I don't believe in this whole social media stuff. I wanted to enter radio, go through promotions, get my gig on as a DJ in radio, do some years here, and then align myself to a bigger market. But I mean, unfortunately and coincidentally and actually faithfully, everything happens for a reason. And good thing that route didn't happen, because God had something else in store for me. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, and everyone that's watching this has a purpose as well. So Miss Nischelle Turner, don't sit here and try to give me advice. Okay, you are apparently for the industry. You are a reporter. You are a journalist. You're no different than a Kevin Frazier. Kevin Frazier literally sitting down in front of a white woman, giving her a 0% tit for tat questions on how she handled herself on national television when it came to racism, on how she handled herself being pro Piers Morgan, being for the implication of racism. So you are the equivalency of Kevin Frazier. You are a journalist. Apparently you are okay with working for a network that has discrimination issues. And the audacity of you to even say that I need to do research on a network that literally had a president there for 20 plus years, sexually aligning himself to a woman while being married, and having a host on the show, literally getting Grammys after Grammys, being in charge of the show, hosts being fired because they're too ghetto for the show, hosts being fired because their skin color, hosts being fired because of they aren't the representation of Julie Chen and Les Moonves. So don't sit here and tell me that I need to do research on a show that has a lack in ratings and literally use your own people to spiral ratings and growth. So I think you need to sit down and really analyze where you want to be. And like I said, do you make your money? And I even made amends, but you continuously like tweets from other people that tried to come for me, even people that have limited followers. You just kept liking tweets. And so, like I said, I personally believe that you were hired for damage control. And no, that does not take away your ability, your capability of doing the job, because clearly you have experience. Clearly you worked hard to get to where you are. I'm sure you worked twice as hard to get to where you are because you're a Black woman. But let's call a spade, that the timing was really, really there and really off and really coincidental to hire somebody to do damage control. Just saying. Anyways, y'all, I'm not for this industry at all. I'm not for these people. I don't want to align myself in that club. It's all fakery. It's all buffoonery between social media, between television, between whatever. I just always been the type in my personal life that I don't believe in coworker friends at all. This is why I can't align myself to be a part of a show that's co-host, because I can't get along with people that, for the most part, are for the buffoonery and fakery of this industry, because that's just not who I am as a person. I can't hide that. I don't believe in keep your enemies closer. That's just not me. You're going to know if I don't like you, okay? And Bevy Smith continued to even give Lonnie Love on Twitter her props for being pro-Black people on television, when literally, allegedly, she was a big influence on being fired. Having Tamar Braxton fired from The Real, and having their claws aligned to her ass to where she can't even get more opportunities on the show, because, of course, Lonnie was intimidated by Tamar's talent and her capabilities, because Lonnie Love wanted to be that ghetto comedian. She's not funny. It's not her purpose to be a comedian. Okay, I don't know what her purpose is. I really don't know, but she needs to find it herself. And karma got on her ass, because her career is not going to propel to any more than where she is right now. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said, if you're watching this and you feel worthy to donate a minimum $5 a month to my patreon.com/JOA. I sincerely do appreciate it. I sincerely appreciate you watching my channel as well. I'm not here for the bullshit. I'm not. And I'm not here for cancel culture or for people that feel the need to keep using I'm a sister, so you should support me. No, I support you. I do support you. I simply asked you a question. My first statement was wrong, so I wrote, I guess. But had I continued on and asked you that damage control question, Either way, like I said in the beginning of the video, it would have started the negative spark that it started. And honestly, yesterday, it drove me. Like, because I'm having two women that are prominent in television attacking me when I simply just asked a question, okay? I was wrong in the beginning of my statement. But the following statement, do you think it's damage control, is also too much of a direct question. So either way, I asked a damage control question point blank, and I could have said congratulations, but like I said, either way, it would have ended up the same way that it ended up yesterday. And that's all I have to say. Deuces, get some talent. Yay!